Yeah, he's pulled him. He's pulled his shirt. He's pulled him over. I don't think that's... Even if you're a mad City supporter, I don't think you can argue that one. I think he's clearly pulled... Haaland has pulled Fabinho over.
I mean, this is the sport, it seems to me, Simon, that there is not an overall acceptance of decisions, even with VAR. No. They still throw their hands up in the air. No. It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. It's not wrong.
Well, I mean, we are immersed in that culture, though, aren't we? We're immersed in a culture of being critical of specifically referees, and of course when you criticise the protagonists, the players and the managers, then they have a reason for their mistakes, but a referee doesn't ever get a pass. Nobody gets it right 100% of the time, and the focus was on the takeaway that he didn't deal with the Salah Bernardo Silva challenge over there, so that gives a manager an excuse to behave with histrionics, and he didn't do something else, and with that the rest of the game gets immersed in what he didn't do rather than what he did do, because I thought he was right probably 98% of the time, and the game was far better for a referee that refereed in a certain way, yet still no one should be immune to criticism, but we have to get some balance.
What happens when you're a player? You're planting seeds all the time. It's something that develops as you get older and you're on the pitch. You're dropping pearls into the referee all the time. You sure about that one, ref? Well, how did you miss? You're planting. And the managers do the exact same on the touchline. It's all about you're planting it. Okay, I didn't get this time, but I might get it next time. You're building a case. It's like watching a lawyer in court, a barrister.
Yeah, it's like watching a
bowler. Building a case.
Keep appealing. Yeah,
so that all that arm waving, all that aggression. Throwing your arms up.
Yeah,
I mean, you're planting a seed. That's what you do. That's what you're trying to do.
I know, but they should maybe concentrate on more things that positively benefit their side. Stop trying to con everybody and get on with it. I mean, Simon, you're saying we shouldn't conflate this with grassroots referees like the fellow Dave Bradshaw who get assaulted in the field of play. But I very definitely think we should, because the recent coverage of referee abuse goes right down the pyramid. So then we see at a high profile level what happens yesterday. And we've looked at it this morning time and time again. Klopp's reaction when he came out the technical area and laid it on thick to the touchline official for not giving a foul on Salah. He's in his ear, he keeps pace with him, he's way out his technical area, then he's walking away back along with him so he can get another bite at the cherry.
Yeah, but that's
the FA surely's got to come down exceptionally hard on Klopp's
conduct.
And they will,
and they'll send him off, and he'll be consequenced.
He was sent off.
Fine, that's my point. When you behave that way, you get sent off. I remember years ago watching him on the touchline when he was a Blackburn manager, and I don't think I've seen anybody go at an official like I saw him when we played Blackburn at home in my first year. But the bottom line is, you kind of half want it, but you want the balance to be right. But that does not conflate to somebody walking up, a manager screaming at an official, getting sent off on consequence and all that goes with that, doesn't conflate with somebody walking up to a referee and punching his face in. We can make it that way. We can say this is the beginning of the journey, but people have to be responsible for their individual behaviour. I know it's not the greatest look, and I don't want it either. I want managers to calm themselves down at times.
In
that instant you're talking about, it was a foul. Silva bundled into...
It's a foul.
All right, we'll put it this way. Would you have done what Klopp did?
No, but
yes, he would.
The point
would you?
The point I want to make...
Yeah, you would,
they weren't denied a goal-scoring opportunity. It was out in the full-back area. It wasn't a nasty foul. It was a clumsy attempt at a foul that wasn't given. And I don't think it warranted the
outburst
reaction that it got from Klopp. I mean, I think that was a case of him planting a seed. I think maybe a bit of acting involved in that. People might laugh at that, but it wasn't an incident that's going to cost you the game either way.
You see what it led to, Graham? Guardiola is giving it all this.
Yeah, so that I come back to where we started.
Behind the technical area.
Coaches and managers have a responsibility, and it's, people will point to me and think I didn't always behave. I hold my hands up. You get caught in the moment, but I think they have a responsibility. And crowds bounce off what reaction they see from the managers. If they get up for it, if they feel, he's the expert, he's upset by that challenge or that foul not being given, they react off that. And that's where the balancing act has to come in. They have a responsibility not to go overboard, coaches,
but
managers.
They do. It's all very well saying it, Graham.
That game yesterday, City know that is their hardest game of the season going to Anfield. City knew if they'd won yesterday, they basically knocked Liverpool out of and Liverpool.
Out the
Where do Liverpool go from that? The exact. You're looking at the game, and Liverpool are edging it. Okay, City most of the ball, but Liverpool are edging it with the better chances. Liverpool are a threatening team. Salah's back at it. They looked like a team yesterday. Pep would have known that watching the game. Jurgen would have known that watching his team play. We're in here. We're going to win this. And they get caught up in the moment. And that is transferred to the crowd.
But
now,
undoubtedly,
that's what makes it.
you're
We're
right.
talking about it. It makes it a great spectacle. But there is a
when's anyone
there's a
gonna
line you
claim
can't cross.
But you
in
are
life?
right to turn around and say that there is a way of behaving and an expectation on a professional game to behave in a way that is broadly akin with people
set
looking
the
at it and saying.
example.
But then it's a big stretch to go. Jurgen Klopp. In a 50,000 seater stadium, in the intensity of battle, loses his mind for 30 seconds and goes overboard and gets consequence for it, then translate to some moron bashing a referee up on the pitch. Now, we can make that translation and we can link it and we can say the professional game has a greater obligation to do better, or we can say that individual is a disgrace and should be in prison. And also, we should up our standards a little bit and we should look at the culture of how managers are able to criticise referees. And look at it a little bit more deeply and look at what we're trying to achieve for refereeing, because the referee, whether we like it or we don't, unless we want artificial intelligence running our games, is an integral part of the game, and they are entitled to a bit more respect, and they don't get it.
There you go. Now, that is it. They're entitled to more respect. Graeme, it's not rocket science.
The man in the
Klopp
middle
loses
actually
it.
escapes not scot-free, but he's one of them. He's not got coaches in it. The fourth official, the guy on the touchline, gets it every single.
But shouldn't.
Every single game, every single game that's played, that fourth official is getting it from both sides.
But we talk about it on a Monday morning. It's not rocket science when you follow the sequence of events. Klopp runs out his technical area, gives it to the touchline official, all the way
what
back.
What are you saying?
Is sent off, and Guardiola gets pelted with coins.
You're stating facts,
Right.
So we know that those two didn't behave as the way they
How
should
about
have done.
reining it in?
But it's
Two
very
highest paid coaches in the world.
It's very difficult. A lot of it, I'll come back to. A lot of it is. It's not. Yeah, it's acting. You're planting. You're showing your crowd.
Having a go at the fourth officials, lot just
you're showing your crowd how much you're wanting to and how much you're asking.
Well, they don't
when
need
you
to
see
be shown
Jurgen,
that.
when
Yeah,
you
but when
see
you do it
Jurgen,
to the full official, that's one thing. That's you lot acting out to the crowd. When you go down the linesman and you go after a guy that's in the game,
I'm not defending them.
and went after the linesman, and so bottom lining it.
But we can't have it both ways.
Well, which ways do you want to have it?
We can't sit here and say, God, what a great game it was yesterday, without that passion. And I accept that sometimes that passion crosses
But we don't
the
need the
line,
managers.
and
Managers are the
guilty.
leaders. We don't need them to do it as well. We don't need a Pardew
we
headbutt
have
a player.
you've sat
We don't
there.
need
And how stupid
Arteta.
was it? You get red carded.
You have sat there in recent weeks and said you wanted to see that from managers that you
Yeah,
employed.
in the right direction, not at the officials,
I
at
accept
their
that.
players.
That's what I'm saying. They went overboard yesterday, but you
Yeah.
can't have a black and white, a totally cold situation where a manager doesn't react to situations. You know, this was the biggest game of the season for both of these teams.
Regardless of that
it was a
game.
fabulous game.
Klopp's behaviour is still inexcusable.
I'm not making an excuse for him. He was wrong.
But Guardiola's
He
wasn't much
deserved to
better
stand
And
either,
Guardiola's
by
on
the
it.
way.
Right, so we're all agreed on it. So when are they going to start behaving themselves in the touchline?
Not
When does
anytime
passion?
soon. Not anytime soon.
Well, consequence them. Well, then
when-
consequence them more. Then
Not
Yeah.
when they're
I don't.
not playing for those stakes.
I want my manager to be absolutely at it, on it, across it. But I want him to know where the line is. And if he doesn't know where the line is, someone needs to show them
So
where
let's
the
put
line
it
is.
out there. It's 10:30. When we come back, we'll get some calls. But when does passion no longer become passion and is right over the top? And has Klopp got everything that's coming his way?
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.